2022. Details are in this following report.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony J. Blinken has voiced concerns about human rights and cited President Paul Kagame and his Congolese counterpart Felix Tshisekedi and agreed to engage in direct talks to address the fighting in eastern Congo during talks in Kigali on Thursday, August 11, 2022. The U.S. senior diplomat's visit to Kigali is less than a week after it emerged United Nations experts had found solid evidence Rwanda had been interfering militarily in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Kagame and Tshisekedi met on a summit in Angola to de-escalate tensions from the rebel insurgency after Rwanda rejected allegations of supporting the M23 rebels. The U.S. diplomat raised the case of Hotel Rwanda hero Paul Rusesabagina, a fierce Kagame critic, who was sentenced to a 25-year prison term last year on terrorism charges. The top official stated that in his discussion with President Kagame, they were of the view that every person in every country should be able to express their views without fear of intimidation, imprisonment, violence, or any forms of repression.
In discussions, I also raised serious concerns about human rights. As I told President Kagame, we believe people in every country should be able to express their views without fear of intimidation, imprisonment, violence, or any other forms of repression. That's true whether they're political opponents, human rights defenders, journalists like the ones in this audience, or simply citizens. These are values cherished by the American people and people around the world. That's why I raised them, as have members of the U.S. Congress. I raised the case of Paul Rusesabagina, who is a lawful permanent resident of the United States, and underscored our concerns about the lack of fair trial guarantees provided to him.
Still on the case, Blinken, during a joint conference with Rwandan Foreign Minister Vincent Biruta, he underscored concerns over the lack of fair trial guarantee provided to the accused. The U.S. official in his message to both presidents said, and his support of cooperation with any armed group in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo endangers local communities, regional stability, and every country in the region must respect the territorial integrity of others, Blinken said.
My message to both President Tshisekedi and President Kagame this week has been the same. Any support or cooperation with any armed group in Eastern DRC endangers local communities and regional stability. And every country in the region must respect the territorial integrity of the others. The United States has the same message for all neighboring countries. We've seen where the failure to respect these principles can lead in the immeasurable consequences of decades-long conflict in Eastern DRC, which has taken the lives of more than 5 million people and displaced millions more.
Blinken is in Rwanda on the final stop of a three-nation tour of Africa as Washington seeks to counter Kremlin's growing influence following a trip to the continent in July by Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov.
Away from Rwanda, we now take you to West Africa and Mali, where the transition